Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed day. We're out here in the garage, and you know what? In California, we don't have a in between. We have rain and cold in winter, and then we have about 1 to 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden we're up in the 90s and hundreds again. And we've been in the 90s for the last couple of days. So we're out here in the garage. We got the birds chirping, the dogs barking, the neighbor's cars going by, but we're going to do what we can. So listen. My dad gave me my first Bible when I was 12 years old, and that was in 1965. And I love that Bible. You know, it had it was leather bound. It had a zipper with a little cross on the zipper. And I still have that Bible. I did have it. My daughter took it and put it in her hope chest. But anyway, listen. When I opened up that Bible, it was a King James. But on about the first 1 or 2 pages, it had the Lord's Prayer printed. And I remember reading that Lord's Prayer, and there was a sentence in there that I don't know why, but I got out a pencil and a ruler, and I underlined that sentence. And I mean, it was the first time I ever read the Bible, and I saw that 23rd Psalm there, and I underlined this sentence. And it's Psalms 23:6, and it says, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life," and this is the part that I underlined, "and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." People, I don't know why I thought that was so cool, but when I read that at 12 years old, "I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever," I underlined it, and I must have thought, man, I'm going there. I'm going there. So listen, you ever meditate on that? I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Well, that's what I want to talk to you about for a minute. Where is your house? Where is your mansion? Where's it at? Well, first of all, this is in our very near future. If you're born again, very soon, I'm talking, it could be any minute, we are going to be in the house of the Lord. That's just the way it is. Okay, listen. This is what John 14:1-3 says. This is Jesus talking. "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also." People, listen. Any born-again believer, at the moment of death, the Lord Jesus Christ is going to be right there to escort you to the gates of heaven. That's what he says right here. "And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself." He's not going to send angels to get you. He will be here himself. Now, when it says in my Father's house are many mansions, that's not what we would consider a mansion today. It's actually, the word is actually a great room. And that's what we're going to talk about. Where is your mansion or your great room located? Well, people, I don't think it's in heaven. I really don't. I think it's in the city, the New Jerusalem. This is what it says in Revelation 21:10. And this is what John saw. "And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God." The city was descending out of heaven down onto the earth. And it's either going to remain just above the earth and hover, or it's actually going to sit down on the ground. That's what we know as the 1,000-year millennial reign. The city of the New Jerusalem will be here, and we are going to rule and reign with Christ for 1,000 years from that New Jerusalem. Revelations 26 says, "Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and they will reign with him for 1,000 years." People, I believe that your mansion, your great room, is located in the New Jerusalem. Remember, we're going to have a name written on us. Jesus' new name and the city, the New Jerusalem, that's going to be on us. That's so if we men get lost, the women will ask directions. But if us men get lost, someone will see that and say, "Oh, New Jerusalem, yeah, go down there. It's off that way." Revelation 21:16 says, "And the city lies foursquare. The length is as large as the breadth, and he measured the city with a reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height are equal." So that equals about 1,350 to 1,500 square miles. Not square miles, 1,500 miles this way, 15 that way. Some scholars say 1,350 miles. People, listen. There's enough square footage in that city that every human being that ever lived, that your great room is going to be tens of thousands of square feet. I mean, it's massive. But people, when that Bible says we are going to dwell in the house of the Lord forever, I think that's what it's going to be. People, listen, this is a sure thing. It's coming. The Lord, if we're raptured out, we're going to be taken out of here. We're going to go to heaven for the marriage supper of the Lamb. And then the Lord's going to return with us at the second coming. And then after that, the city, the New Jerusalem, is going to be coming down. And we're going to rule and reign with Christ for 1,000 years. People, that's our future. That's our real future. And this is one part that I love. Revelation 21:21. "And the 12 gates of this city are 12 pearls. Every gate was of one single pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as transparent as glass." People, those pearls, you know how big those things have to be? I mean, the wall is 1,500 miles long and 12 gates, 3 on each side. That pearl has got to be massive. And I think, just the way my brain works, I think that in the pre-flood days, pre-flood, that at one point God made an oyster that was probably a mile across. He made 12 of them. And those oysters, back in that time, pre-flood, when everything was huge, that's where those oysters were made. I don't know that, that's just what I think. But anyway, listen. People, hang in there. Don't be discouraged. Don't worry about all this garbage that's going on in the world. This world is crumbling, and it's going to crumble, and there's nothing we can do about it. And every one of you that's anywhere close to my age, we look back on the time that we grew up in, the America that we know and love, and it's gone. People, it's gone. The end times are coming. There's nothing we can do to stop them. This world's going to get worse and worse. Our country is disintegrating right in front of our eyes. There's nothing you can do about it, so don't get discouraged. Think about, "And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." People, it's all going to be worth it. We're going to be sitting there looking at, watching that New Jerusalem come down. First time we walk into that city, listen, 1,500 miles by 1,500 miles, whether it's a square or a pyramid, it'll take you 500 years just to walk through the whole thing and see everything. I mean, it's going to be fabulous, fabulous. Don't lose heart. Maybe this doesn't apply to you. Maybe you haven't put your faith and trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. If that's the case, you know what you have to look forward to? The split second you die, Jesus is not going to be there. There's going to be a host of demonic entities that are going to be there to take you to the gates of hell. And that's where you're going to stay through that entire 1,000-year millennial reign. And then you're going to come out at the end and go to the great white throne judgment and then be cast into the lake of fire. People, if you live for you, that's your future. You won't be dwelling in the house of the Lord forever. You'll be dwelling in a lake of fire for all of eternity. Choice is yours. For me, I'll take the house of the Lord forever. Anyway, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.